Long ago, in a small valley between soft green hills, there lived a young man named Arun. His village sat by a gentle river. The river moved slowly. The wind in the trees moved slowly. The people in the village had small houses with warm roofs and friendly smiles. Arun had a mind that did not move slowly. His mind jumped like a small, fast bird. He worried a lot. He thought about money, about what other people would say, about whether he would be successful. At night his thoughts came again and again. He could not sleep well. He felt tired even when he woke up. One morning, Arun walked by the river to think. The river looked calm. A monk was sitting on a rock. The monk had a simple robe. He looked calm and kind. Arun felt a little shy, but he sat down near the monk. The monk smiled. "Good morning," he said. "You look tired." Arun felt the truth in the monk's words. He told the monk everything. He told him about the busy mind and the heavy heart. He told him that his hands shook sometimes when he tried to write his name. He told the monk he felt alone, even in the crowd. The monk listened. He did not judge. When Arun finished, the monk spoke very softly. "May I tell you a story?" the monk asked. Arun nodded. Long ago, the monk began, there was a great artist who wanted to make a perfect ball. He tried many days and nights, but each time the ball cracked. The artist felt anger. He wanted a perfect ball. At once, one day an old potter came and watched him. The old potter taught the artist to sit and breathe. He said, "Breathe like the river. Let the clay be. The ball will find its own shape." The artist learned to be patient. He learned to watch the clay. He stopped forcing the ball to be perfect. In time, his hands moved with calm. The ball did not crack. It happened because the potter taught the artist to let go of chasing. He taught him to relax his hands and his mind. Arun listened. He liked the story. He felt small hope. The monk looked at the river. "Your mind is like many things," he said. "Sometimes it is like the river. Sometimes it is like the wind. Sometimes it is like a wild horse. To relax the mind, you need to learn how to sit. You need to learn how to breathe. You need to learn how to let the thoughts pass." Arun wanted to learn. He asked the monk, "Will you teach me? I want a calm mind." The monk smiled again. "I will teach you. But you must be patient. Learning is like the river meeting the sea. It takes time. Are you ready to try each small step?" Arun said, "Yes." The monk taught Arun a very small practice first. He said, "Every morning, wake up 10 minutes earlier. Sit on a cushion. Close your eyes. Put your hands on your knees. Breathe slowly. Count your breath. Inhale 1. Exhale 2. Keep counting to 10, then start again. If the mind wanders, that is okay. Bring it back with kindness." Arun did this. The first morning his mind jumped. He felt many thoughts. He counted to 4, then he thought of a letter he had to write. He smiled and gently brought his mind back. He did not scold himself. On the third day, Arun opened his eyes after 10 minutes. He felt a little lighter. He felt his body softer. The practice did not fix everything, but the small change gave hope. The monk showed him another step. "When you feel restless, touch your face with your hand," the monk said. "Feel the warmth. Feel the skin. The body is a good anchor. It is a kind friend that belongs to. Now, move your attention to the breath and to the weight in your feet. The mind will follow." Arun practiced. He touched his face and felt the cool morning air. He watched the breath. He noticed. Thoughts still came. But the breath was always there. The breath did not hurry. The breath kept coming and going like the river. One day the monk told Arun another short tale. There were 2 bowls, the monk said. One ball was full of stones. The other ball was empty. A man carried the ball of stones across a field. He walked slowly because the stones were heavy. He sweated and complained. Another man carried the empty ball. He carried it joyfully. He looked at the sky. He laughed because the ball was light. The ball of stones is like the mind that holds too many thoughts. The empty ball is like the mind that learns to let go. When you carry many thoughts, your shoulders ache. When you let go, your walk becomes easier. Arun thought about the stones. He thought about his own worries. He asked, "How can I empty my ball?" The monk looked at him with kind eyes. "You empty your ball by letting each thought come and then letting it go. When a thought comes, say to it, 'I see you.' Do not feed it with fear. Do not say, 'I must hold you.' Give the thought a small space, then return to the breath. Think of the thought as a cloud. The cloud passes." Arun tried this practice. At first his ball felt very full. But slowly, day by day, some stones became sand. He began to carry less weight. A few weeks later the monk took Arun to a quiet garden. It was small but bright. Flowers grew near the path. Bees moved from flower to flower. A small bird sang. "This is the garden of attention," said the monk. "Your mind is like this garden. If you leave too many weeds, worry, anger, fear, the flowers cannot grow. If you tend the garden with care, kindness, patience, simple joy, the flowers will grow. You do not need to remove all weeds at once. Pull one weed each day. Water one flower." Arun sat on the stone in the garden. He saw a small sapling near the wall. The monk gave him a small bowl of water and a cloth. "Water the sapling," the monk said. "Take care of it. When you care for one living thing, you learn to care for your own mind." Arun watered the sapling. He wiped leaves with the cloth. He felt calm. The simple act did something in him. His hands moved slowly. He listened to the bird. The world slowed a little. "See," said the monk. "Your mind is like this garden. If you leave too many weeds, worry, anger, fear, the flowers cannot grow. If you tend the garden with care, kindness, patience, simple joy, the flowers will grow. You do not need to remove all weeds at once. Pull one weed each day. Water one flower." Arun sat on the stone in the garden. He saw a small sapling near the wall. The monk gave him a small bowl of water and a cloth. "Water the sapling," the monk said. "Take care of it. When you care for one living thing, you learn to care for your own mind." Arun watered the sapling. He wiped leaves with the cloth. He felt calm. The simple act did something in him. His hands moved slowly. He listened to the bird. The world slowed a little. "See," said the monk, "you can calm the mind not only by sitting but by doing small, caring acts. Attention becomes gentle attention. That gentleness is the ground for relaxation." Time passed. Arun learned more practices. The monk told him about the stone and the wind. "The wind can blow hard," he said. "It can trouble the water. The stone can be strong and patient. The stone does not fight the wind. It stays. If your mind is like the stone, it stays calm when the wind blows. But the stone is not cold, it is warm. It feels the sun and the rain. It accepts. Practicing calm is not about stopping life. It is about holding life with a steady heart." Arun tried to be like the stone, but he also learned to be like the river. "Sometimes be like the river," the monk said. "Be gentle and flowing. Sometimes be like the stone. Be steady. Both are good." This idea made sense to Arun. Sometimes he watched water, sometimes he watched a mountain. The mind learned to change shape like good clay. There was a woman in the village named Meera. Meera worked in the small tea house near the market. She had a smile like bright tea. People liked her because she was kind. She also had a restless heart. She worried about her brother and about the future. One afternoon, Meera came to the garden. She found Arun sitting and reading a small book. Meera sat next to him and drank tea. They talked about small things, the weather, the taste of tea, the color of a bird. When Meera told Arun about her worries, Arun remembered the monk's words. He told Meera about the breath and the stone and the garden. He told her how he watered the sapling and felt better. Meera listened and practiced with Arun. She learned to sit for a few minutes each day. She felt her shoulders loosen. The tea house felt brighter. She laughed more. Arun found joy in helping Meera. Helping someone else made his mind lighter. The monk had said that compassion is like sunshine. When you are kind to others, you warm your own heart. One night, a storm came. The wind hit the valley hard. The river rose and water touched the stone path. Arun could not sleep. He lay awake thinking of the river, of his past mistakes, of tomorrow. He went to the monk's small hut near the field. The monk sat with a lamp burning. He did not sleep either. Arun told the monk that the storm made his mind stormy too. The monk put his hand on Arun's shoulder. The storm is outside, the monk said. Storms come. They pass. In the night, sit by your breath like a friend. Let each thought pass like a wave. When a large wave comes, do not fight it. Let it rise and fall. Say quietly, I am with you. Then the wave will weaken. You do not need to stop the storm to be calm. You only need to be steady like the earth. Your breath is your anchor. Arun followed the monk's words. He sat on a small mat. He breathed slowly. He watched each thought. He allowed the fear to be present without clinging to it. The storm outside lasted a while. His heart felt alert. He felt the night in his bones. Yet slowly, the breath steadied him. The storm did not stop, but his mind felt steadier. By morning the wind had gone. The river flowed again like a gentle line. Arun felt tired, yet peaceful. The monk spoke to Arun as the sun rose. You have come far, he said. But remember, change is not a race. You do not become free in one day. We build calm by small steps. Each day you practice, you add one stone to a path. One by one, the path becomes a road. One by one, the road leads to a place of rest. Arun thought about his old life. He remembered nights when fear pushed him. Now he had small mornings of quiet. He had small acts of kindness. He had a friend like Meera. He had a teacher who did not hurry him. You will face hard things, the monk said. You will meet pain and loss. These things are part of life. But the practice is not to avoid pain. It is to hold pain with an awake and kind heart. When pain comes, do not blame yourself. Do not run. Sit with the pain. Be like the stone and the river. The pain will ease. It may not leave quickly, but it will soften. Arun felt deep gratitude. He bowed to the monk. He promised to continue. Before Arun left the monk's hut to go home that day, the monk gave him one final simple practice for the evening. Before sleep, the monk said, make a small list in your heart. Say 3 things you are grateful for. They can be tiny: a warm cup of tea, a song a bird sang, a friend's smile. Gratitude is a lamp. It shows the small good things. Hold them with the breath. Then sleep. Arun returned to the village. That night he thought of the warm tea, the little sapling, and the monk's calm voice. He wrote nothing on paper, but in his mind he spoke the 3 blessings. His sleep came easier than before. His dreams were lighter. Weeks passed. Arun's mind did not become perfect. It still had restless days. But now he knew how to find rest. He knew to come back to the breath. He knew to water the garden of attention. He remembered the stone and the river. He learned to offer kindness to others and to himself. He taught Meera to watch the breath. Meera taught him to bake a simple bread. Their small acts mixed light, two colors and made a new, warm color. One early morning, Arun stood by the river. He felt the sun on his face. He felt the cool breeze on his hands. He looked at the people who moved in the village. He saw old women carrying baskets, children running, a father mending a net. He felt a gentle happiness. Not loud, not proud, but real. He understood now that relaxation of the mind was not about escaping life. It was about learning to be with life, the good and the hard, with a steady heart. He saw that every person carried stones and flowers. Some had heavy loads. Some had light hands. He smiled to himself and to the world. The monk passed by and nodded. "You have learned well," he said softly. "Keep practicing. Be gentle with yourself. Help others when you can. The road is long, but each step is a gift." Arun bowed and said, "Thank you." He walked back to the village slowly. The river looked calm. His mind was not empty, but it had space. The stones in his ball were fewer. A small light burned within him, a simple, white light. One rainy morning, Arun woke to a soft sound. The rain on the roof sounded like a small drum. He walked to the river. The river looked different from last week. It had more water. The stones at the bottom were hidden. The path by the river was wet and soft. Arun remembered the monk's words, "Everything changes." The monk had taught him about impermanence, that all things come and go. Arun had seen small changes before. A sapling became a small tree. A summer day turned into a rainy day. But now the river looked stronger. The village talked about the heavy rain. Some people were worried about the crops. The monk sat under a small shelter and smiled at Arun when he came closer. "The river changes every day," the monk said. "If we cling to how the river was, we will be unhappy. Change is not our enemy. Change is life." To relax the mind, we learn to watch change with kindness. We do not hold tight to one shape of life. We let life move. Arun looked at the water. He thought of his old fears, losing money, losing friends, losing health. He realized all of these things could change too. He felt a mix of fear and relief. He did not want to lose what he loved. Yet he also felt lighter when he did not have to force the river to stay the same. The monk gave Arun a small pebble. "Keep this pebble for one day," he said. "Notice it when you touch it. When your mind holds on to a thought, hold the pebble, then say quietly, 'This also changes.'" Arun tried it. Each time a strong thought came, he touched the pebble and said, "This also changes." The simple words helped. The pebble became a small bell of truth. In the market, an old candle maker told a small story. He had lost a son many years ago. For a long time, he carried grief like a heavy sack. People told him to forget, but he could not. One night a friend gave him a small candle and said, "Light this for your son. Let the light hold him kindly." The candle burned and warmed the small room. The candle did not make the man forget, but it changed how he held the grief. The grief was still there, but he held it with a small light. The candle taught him to be gentle with his sorrow. Arun learned from this story. He understood that letting go was not the same as forgetting. Letting go meant holding sorrow with tenderness. That tenderness relaxed the heart. Before sleep, think of a small sorrow. Imagine a warm candle beside it. Do not push the sorrow away. Imagine holding the sorrow with the warm light of the candle. Say softly, "I hold this with love." Stay for a few breaths, then rest. One afternoon, the monk taught Arun a practice called metta, loving kindness. The monk asked Arun to sit and breathe. Then he said simple words, slowly. "May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease." After repeating these words for himself, Arun was asked to think of Meera and say, "May Meera be safe. May Meera be happy. May Meera be healthy. May she live with ease." Then the monk asked him to extend the wish to all people in the village, then to the whole world. Arun felt warmth in his chest. The practice did two things: it softened his own hard edges, and it connected him with others. He felt a sense of unity. When the mind is kind, it calms easily. One day, a trader came to the village arguing loudly. He said that someone had taken his cloth. People gathered. Voices rose. Arun felt tight in his chest. Old anger in him stirred. A small memory came of a time when a friend had not kept a promise. The monk held up his hand and slowly walked to the group. He did not shout. He spoke softly and asked for a moment. He told a short story of a forest fire. A small spark can burn a whole field if the wind carries it and dry grass cares for it. But if the spark meets a wet path and kind hands, it dies. Anger is a spark, the monk said. If we feed it with loud words and quick actions, it grows. If we cool it with breath and kind actions, it weakens. Arun watched. He learned to breathe when anger rose. He imagined pouring water on the spark. He did not run to speak at once. Often the spark went out. The monk asked the villagers to join a small walk. They walked slowly, barefoot, along a green path. Each footstep was small and mindful. The walk lasted only 10 minutes, but everyone felt lighter. Arun noticed small things: the touch of the earth, the smell of wet grass, a beetle crossing the path. When the mind wandered, he returned it to the step. When he walked like this, his thoughts became smaller.